Hello everyone, welcome back to class. I'm Professor Martin. I hope you enjoyed your week off. I know I had a good time. Vacationing, what am I talking about? I didn't take a vacation. I just did more work. I graded all your papers. I haven't mentioned the YouTube Creator Playbook in a couple episodes, and that's because I was trying to decide what to do with the rest of the pre-production phase of the book, which goes up to page 30. If you're interested in this section, and if you have more than a small audience, you should be interested in this section because it gets into cross-promotion and it gets into insights. I would highly recommend that you read the rest of this section and try and implement it into your video making process. However, if you're still down in the trenches, less than, you're not even getting 100 views on a video yet, a lot of this stuff is not going to be that useful to you. That said, the one thing you should take from this section is doing collaborations. Collaborations are one of the best ways to network with other YouTube channels and therefore share audiences. So it's always a good idea, even if the people you're collaborating with are just as small as you or whatever, it's more fun to see more people working together on something. It's part of what makes the YouTube community a community. But today we're going to get into our first lesson on metadata, and then we're going to move into some more student examples. If you flip to page 33 in your YouTube Creator Playbook, you're going to get to the metadata section. The metadata section is about those pesky things like titles and tags and video description. Believe it or not, that title of yours could be the be-all, end-all of your video. If you don't have some kind of compelling title that makes someone who's never clicked on your video before click on your video, it might never happen. So you need to think of some kind of compelling name for your video. And if you're putting in a branding, something like your name or the series name, consider putting that in the back end of the title of the video, because the part that you want to grab their attention should be up front. And then if it happens to be episode 58 of whatever, put that at the end so that if it gets truncated, you're going to see the relevant, compelling part, not what number episode it is. The tags are probably the most important thing to search optimization. So if the title is important to a human eye coming across your video and clicking on it, the tags are going to be what puts that video in front of a human eye. You have, I forget how many characters, something like 300 or 400 characters worth of tags. You should be using most of that every time. And that's one reason that you need a lot of content in your videos, especially a lot of you are doing video game videos. You spend a lot of time just talking about what you're doing in the game. Well, when you go to try to turn that into tags, it's very hard to come up with a lot of things to tag in that video because you haven't really talked about anything other than what is self-evident. And I won't get into it now, but a big part of what makes my video game videos more interesting, especially the Minecraft ones, is I just talk about stuff while I'm playing. And it's more interesting to be having a conversation either one-sided or with other people in the video. It's more interesting for the viewer to be part of a conversation that's taking place that doesn't have to necessarily do with the game that you're playing, because it's a way to pass the time. It's the reason that we listen to podcasts or radio shows. And then when you get to that tag section and you're not sure what to put in there, you can be like, oh, that's right, I talked about Harry Potter in this video, or oh, that's right, I talked about My Little Ponies. I don't know what you kids are into these days. And then as far as your description, I like to put as much information in there to avoid questions as possible. If you're playing Minecraft and you're using a texture pack, put in the texture pack link. Don't just put the name, put the link. If you're using specific mods or plugins, put some links. If you're a vlogger and you're the kind of person who invites questions to be answered in some kind of like Fan Friday thing or something, put in the info, leave questions to be answered on Fan Friday. Put in branding information like consistent things. I have links to my other YouTube channels. I have a link to my email address so that it can be found on every single one of my videos. And for all three of these things, there's something that's very important. crucial, in fact, and that is spelling. If you don't have proper spelling, you're going to miss out on who knows what. Imagine you spelled Minecraft M-I-N-C-R-A-F-T. Your videos aren't going to show up in any search results for Minecraft because you spelled it wrong. Also consider in the title and the description keeping a nice style, either all lowercase or properly punctuated and capitalized. Pick a style and stick to it. I'm going to put a link in the info to a page called Low Page Rank and Bad Spelling May Go Hand in Hand, which is a research study conducted by Google that showed that those pages that had bad spelling and bad punctuation and bad grammar always end up at the bottom of their lists. And that's not because of anything that they choose, that's because of what their users click on. So if you've got bad spelling, bad punctuation, people aren't going to click on your videos, people won't push them up to the top, and you're just going to get stuck down there. If you're having trouble coming up with tags and that kind of stuff, on page 34 there are some very useful tools that will generate tags for you. So if you type in video games, it will spit out a bunch of popular tags for that category, and then you can pick the ones that actually are applicable to your video. The description box is where you're going to put your info for your social media, your subscription links, link to your channel page, anything that, in case this is the very first video that some random viewer has ever seen of yours, you want them to be able to find you. You don't want a description that is just a sentence with no more information. They might think that's the only video that you've ever put up. Maybe they're watching on a mobile device and they can't look at your channel page and they don't have any real impression of who you are. Fill up that info with enough so that they can figure out who you are.
Hello, I'm back. Did you miss me? That was a weird smile. So yes, I have officially applied to two colleges. Those colleges being Northeastern University, which is located in Boston, which is in Massachusetts, which is in America.
So the first video that I'm going to discuss today is from Recari. It's one of the only live action videos that I've gotten, so thank goodness someone is still doing that. I have very few things to say about this video. Recari, I do enjoy your content, as I've said before. One thing I would say about this particular video is it's probably too long for a daily vlog. I think daily vlogs probably, you're just over the limit. I'd say between 4 and 6 minutes. Ever since I realized that the Vlogbrothers have a limit of 4 minutes, for some reason I tend to enjoy vlogs that are right around that 4-minute mark a lot more. And so I'm just going to say, attention span wise, you're really pushing it at the plus 6 minutes side of things. The second thing is, I think this specific video, and I've seen others of yours I wouldn't have said this about, this specific video either requires more or less cuts. Sometimes there will be a couple cuts like right in a row, and then you'll have like a minute of uncut video. And I think you just need to find better pacing for that kind of thing, at least in this video. And the last thing I'll say is, you notice how much room is above my head in this frame? How much is that? Do you think 10%, 15% of the frame? You are all the way down here, and you're always down there. If you draw a line above your head in the frame, there's probably 40 or 45% of the frame that you're not using most of the time. And maybe there's something, I don't know, maybe there's something below the frame that you don't want to show. Like, I don't want to show that mess that's sitting right there. Maybe there's something that you're avoiding. I don't know.
What's up, everybody? This is Katsuki Naruto 69. Well, you can call me MJ, and I'm starting my Let's Play of Terraria. Well, anyways, create a character. Let's start with hair. You have many different hairs. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
What
7,
are you really going to count every type of
10,
hair
11,
or something?
12,
The problems I have with this one are, first of all, I'm already bored. This is one of those cases that I really think you probably need a 15-second clip. You need something funny or compelling from the later part of the episode. Pull it out, put it at the front, give us a little title, Terraria Let's Play, then start the video. And then while you're making the video, try and avoid things like, for instance, counting. I'm just saying it's going to get kind of boring. And lastly on this one, on the technical side of things, it sounds like you're really on top of your mic. I don't know if the mic is just too close to your face, but there's a lot of moving air going around, and every time you laugh or snort or whatever, there's a and that's a no-no for Sean B. Martin.
What's up guys, Recari here, and today we'll be playing Bedrock Bonanza. Sorry, this is a custom map based on survival.
Okay, this is a let's play of a custom map for Minecraft, and the very first thing that I noticed is the volume on this video is incredibly low, and there are many parts of the video that I can't understand what you're saying. It's just too quiet and you're mumbling. So either find a way to be more bombastic and outgoing and use some enthusiasm, or find a way to boost your mic, or both. That's the first thing. The second thing is your frame rate is awful. It's really bad, and if it's that bad for a 15-minute video, you're gonna give people headaches, unfortunately. So either find a way that you can shoot in HD with a higher frame rate, or you might want to consider not shooting in HD. I don't really think there's a real inherent problem with shooting in 480 if it's smooth and looks nice. I would rather that than 720 and have a frame rate of like 10. The last thing, which also ties into the way it looks, is the second half of the video is very dark, mostly because you're underground. You should find a way to lighten the video in post, which is fine, or you got to remember to put torches down a lot more than you would think. I faced the same problem. And oh shoot, I forgot there's one more thing. During the most quiet parts of the map, you put in some Minecraft music, which I think is a good touch. I think you should, when you feel the mood going down. Typically what I do is when I'm cutting together pieces of my video, if there's a bunch of content that I'm not willing to cut any of it, but at a certain point I do start to feel like I'm getting bored, even though there's nothing bad about, like, it's just constant talking, but I will feel like that attention span starting to wander. That's when I add the music. And I think you kind of did that, and I think it worked well. But for long stretches of when you have music, there's absolutely nothing going on. You stop talking and you just walk, which is fine, but you might want to consider cutting it. You might want to consider just skipping it entirely and getting to the next part. Or speed it up, do a time lapse, or something. Find a way to keep the action moving.
Hello guys, it's Stuckshot here, and well, we got a little TNT explosion there at the beginning. That was kind of cool. But this video that you're watching here right now, I'm going to be doing a little tutorial on Mod Disguise. Now what Mod Disguise is a simple plugin for Minecraft servers that you can install on it. You can get it easily from bucket.org, B-U-K-K.
And my star student of the day, this is a very good Mod Disguise tutorial. It's good for a number of different reasons. I'm just going to go over them, and you can feel free to brag to your friends about them. First of all, it's a very effective tutorial. I think it adequately explains the Mod Disguise plugin and all the different things you can do with it. Second, as I mentioned in the YouTube Creator Playbook lesson today, you involved one of your friends, and maybe he doesn't have a YouTube page, he doesn't make videos or whatever, but just the fact that you have another person in the video is interesting. So that was a nice touch. Third, the video looks great. You're using the water shader mod, which I, for some reason, can no longer get to work on my computer. I don't know why. It worked fine last month. Your video looks great with the water shader mod. It's shot in 720, full 30 frames a second, looks very nice. You picked a custom texture pack, which looks really good on your game, and overall the whole video just feels very well done. Next time we're going to be talking about more publishing stuff like annotations, creating playlists, and making video responses, because those are very important. I use all those tactics in my own dealings on YouTube. And if you want to submit a video response to this video, this is the new place for me to pull from. Let me say this first, though. If I have not reviewed your video yet, I've selected 8 of the 20-ish that have been posted. You are likely one of the people who has submitted a video to me that has not really followed any of the guidelines that I've already set forth. And if you're not applying the first couple lessons of Prof. Martin to your video, I'm not going to look at your video, because you need to start at what I've already taught, and then I will try and tell you what else you need to do. And I will give you individual attention when I can see that you are applying the lessons I've taught. If you made a video before I started this, or you're still making videos and not paying attention to any of this, I'm sorry, but I'm not gonna tell you what to do to fix your video, because I already told you what to do and you're not doing it. Thanks to the 4 who submitted their work. I will include in the info a link to the first Professor Martin where I peer-reviewed 4 other video makers. I think generally I have some harsh but realistic criticism for all 8 of these videos. Except for that mob disguise tutorial. That one was pretty good. You got a gold star. The rest of you, get out of here. Class dismissed.